I'm not a person who loves to dive into history, but I must admit, reading and learning about all of these kings has been quite interesting. It would seem to me that one, just one of them, would learn to stay in close relationship with God the Father because things go well when they are in community with Him. This week, we will learn about more kings, their accomplishments, and their failures as we read chapters 24 through 28 in 2nd Chronicles. Last week, we mentioned about Joash being the youngest king, beginning his reign at 7 years old. Chapter 24 tells about his 40-year reign and how he restored the temple. He had the priests go and collect the money that was due annually from all of Israel. He found that the people were glad to give to this project. The chapter ends, though, with the people turning from God because Jehoiada, the elderly priest, died, and Joash then listened to the officials and abandoned the temple of the Lord. Joash, another king who went from good to bad. Amaziah, Joash's son, succeeded him. He was half-hearted about his religion and was not loyal to the Lord. Instead of trusting God for victory, he hired men from Israel. Then he worried about the money he would lose if he if he obeyed the Lord. Chapter 25 explains that he valued military success more than our God's will and made a foolish mistake by worshiping the gods of the nation he had conquered. He was captured, the temple wall was destroyed, and things in the temple taken. The next king was Amaziah's son, Uzziah, who was 16 when he began his reign, as we find out in chapter 26. This king did right in the eyes of the Lord for a while. The Lord helped him defeat the Philistines, build towers, and prepare a well-trained army. After God gave Uzziah great prosperity and power, he became proud and corrupt. Can you believe he demanded to go into the temple where only the priests and the Levites are allowed to go? He turned away from God and was struck with leprosy in the end. It is true that pride goes before destruction. Chapter 27 is only 9 verses long and tells us about the next king, Jotham, Uzziah's son. He followed in his father's example and was generally a good king, but his people became corrupt. He lived a brief life and had a short reign, but was faithful to the Lord. The spiritual leadership that began with Uzziah and continued with Jotham disappeared with Ahaz in the final chapter for the week. God allowed the nation to be conquered in response to Ahaz's evil practices. Judah experienced a humiliating defeat from Israel, but God mercifully overruled and rescued the people. It was a prophet, not a king or general, who saved the day. Instead of repenting and returning to the God of his father and grandfather, Ahaz adopted the gods of the victorious enemy. When you are facing trials, don't turn away from God. Turn to Him. See these times as an opportunity for you to claim God's help. Won't you join us next week again for another 5 chapters in the book of 2nd Chronicles? Because Biblical Shakers makes reading the Bible way more enjoyable for you. And I pray the Lord will put a hunger on your heart.